What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Josh Shiro. Hey man, we're back with my favorite thing to post on my channel right now. I know this video is coming out a little later than I expected. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It's just been a crazy hectic week. I ain't gonna lie, it's been a lot, but we here. We are here. So before we get into y'all's takes, because I'm not gonna lie, we got a good batch this week. Y'all, some of these is like, oh, okay, this is crazy, but alright. But before we get into the video, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and again, keep commenting y'all takes, keep letting me know, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna lie, y'all gotta start coming up with some new things. This person's overrated, J. Cole is this, Kendrick is that, Kanye is this, Eminem is that. It's like, alright, can we talk about some other people? Like, I get that y'all love talking about these people, but like, I need some, you know what I'm saying? Because it's getting to a point where all y'all are starting to sound the same. And I just don't want that, me personally, you know what I'm saying? I want some fresh ideas. I want some new takes, you know what I mean? I don't want something that somebody in comments beforehand have already regurgitated. And I've either skipped over it or I've already talked about it. So, let's, you know what I'm saying? First take I want to get into comes from Journey.48. Gatekeeping needs to exist. Keep my small artists small. I want my $30 shows forever. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. You the reason why artists hate their fans. Like, if y'all ever want to know why, you know, bigger artists, why they grow to sometimes resent their fans, or they may feel like they're shady towards their fans or start egoing their fans, it's because niggas make comments like this. Look, I get it. It was a luxury when, you know, you were like a day one Lil Uzi Vert fan or a day one Playboi Carti fan, ASAP, whatever fan, right? And the concert was $30, $45, hell, cheaper. The cheapest concerts now for the lower tier acts are like maybe like $70 if they're in that tier of artists. But like, y'all do have to understand that y'all are essentially saying, I don't want this artist to ever grow and be big and make money. That's what you're saying. You're basically saying, I ain't gonna lie, bro, you're cool at this success level, but I never want you to be big, bro. I never want you to attain your dreams, chase your dreams, and chase bigger opportunities, bro. I never want you to do that, bro. Like, you're also essentially saying, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro, I want to keep you to myself. I don't want nobody else to listen to you, bro. Like, this weird attachment that you have to the artist where you don't want them to grow as an artist, become bigger, really live out their dreams of becoming a star or a superstar, is incredibly selfish, but it's also incredibly damaging to the artist, and it kind of just tells me what kind of person you are. I'm not gonna lie. And while I don't think you are 100% like a bad person, that's not what I'm saying at all. It kind of just lets me know, man, you may not like seeing this grow. These are the fans that also kind of have like this weird attachment or this very parasocial attachment to their favorite artist or content creator when nobody knew them, you know what I'm saying? They were still small, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, they might have been replying to their comment or their DM or whatever, and they just got too big to the point where, I'm sorry, bro, you kind of got lost in the sauce. And I get it. I understand from a fan standpoint. It's like, man, you know, it was nice when it was more intimate, and you know what I'm saying, I felt like I was more seen. But now that there's more people, I kind of get lost in the crowd. And it's not like I don't understand it from a civilian or a fan standpoint, because hell, I'm not like the biggest content creator. I'm still a civilian, you know what I'm saying? I'm always going to be a civilian. But at the end of the day, y'all also have to realize that, you know what I'm saying, they got a family to feed, they got money that's to be made. And for you to say, nah bro, I need them $30 tickets, bro, I get it. I wish all ticket prices were cheaper for artists that are selling out arenas. We gotta stop this whole, yo, I'm gatekeeping so they stay small and local because I don't want them to blow up, because I don't want to lose access, you know, to the $30, $45 tickets, or I don't want to lose access to the intimacy, you know what I'm saying, that they have because I have a special, like, nah, bro. Let them grow, bro. Let them fly away. You know what I'm saying? Stop talking like a parent and they're your 18-year-old child going to college. Like, let them, you know. Next take I want to tackle. 2025 is a better rap year than 2022. The year isn't even over. Like, I have multiple videos talking about how the first 6 months in terms of just rap music, Playboi Carti, Rico Nasty, Benny the Butcher, I guess Lil Baby. What else? And obviously within the last 2.5 months, we've gotten the Clips, we've gotten Jack Boys 2, we've gotten JID, we've gotten Offset, Big X the Plug, we've gotten a whole slew of West Side, Joey Badass, we've got Chance the Rapper even. We've gotten a slew of artists that have dropped, and they've all, for the most part, been very, very good to great projects. I still haven't listened to that Chance album yet, but I'm gonna make a video kind of surrounding that album soon. So, but yeah, like I'm not gonna go out on a limb and say 2025 is a better rap year than 2022. Let's see what dropped in 2022 actually. So in 2022 you had I think this is Flo Milli's debut. Ho, you still hear Ho, King's Disease 3, It's Almost Dry, Pusha T, The Forever Story, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future, Denzel Curry, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, Her Loss. You know what I'm saying? Love for Rent, Only Built for the Links, Quavo and Takeoff. Oh, Meg dropped this terrible project this year. Traumazine. Damn, that was terrible. Glorilla dropped her debut, even though I think that's more of a mixtape, but DS2 Forever, 777 with Lotto, It's Only Me, Lil Baby. Vinyl Days is actually a pretty good project by Logic. I Never Liked You. Oh my God, God did drop that year. But Heroes and Villains, 2000, Joey Badass. Ghetto Gods, Earth Gang, 7220, Two Alive, Yeet, Beautiful Mind, Rod Wave. IDK dropped that year. Wait, hold on. You might be right. Wait, hold on. Now that I've gone over this list, seeing what dropped that year, I'm gonna be honest. It ain't a whole lot of firepower that's competing with the firepower this year so far. And again, we only in September. Like, now that I'm really thinking about it, you know, I Never Liked You, Mr. Morale, Heroes and Villains, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future, Love for Rent, IDK Simple. Those are like really, for me personally, the projects that are kind of carrying that year. Joey Badass since 2000. But other than that, I mean, that's only about 8. And that was through a 12-month calendar year. I can name like a good 9, 10 that we've gotten just this year. Like, we can throw in I Am Music. I personally really love that Rico Nasty project, but I know it's not going to get the attention and shine. You know what I'm saying? West Side, Joey Badass's album this year is really, really, really good. Obviously, a lot of people love Chance's Starlight album. That's a lot of people's album of the year candidate. JID, obviously, you know what I'm saying? You could throw in The Forever Story in 2022 as well. And I low-key kind of got to walk my take back with the Metro Boomin mixtape that he dropped this year. While I'm still staying on my standpoint of it's not great, the songs that I do like, I ended up absolutely loving. So it's kind of made me look at the project a little bit differently, but it's not Heroes and Villains. But it's actually kind of closer than I'm actually like thinking about right now. I'm not going to lie. I don't know where I necessarily stand on it. Again, we still in September, so I'm not going to like, you know, but this might not be crazy after like a year and a half from now. This might not be a crazy take. Next take comes from Art Dealer IV. French Montana and DJ Khaled should unrelease most of their discography.
Guys, we don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
I'm gonna be honest. You're not entirely wrong for feeling that way. Here's the thing. You know, mixtape French, that had the slaps. That was where the slaps came from. But really, since then, French Montana has given us no stylist, which again I cut off after Drake's part, to be honest with you. Unforgettable with Sway Lee. Like, French Montana's been one of those rappers where he is just so unbelievably corny and trash. Like, he ruins all songs for me. Like, his best songs, I'm not even gonna lie, is he even really the standout at this point? So I'm kind of with you. French Montana's catalog for me is about 89% garbage. I just gotta be honest. DJ Khaled, however, look, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to hate on Khaled right now, especially in 2025. But I can't do that. You talking about classics, like all-time classic songs. I just can't do that, bro. And while, yes, his, you know, latest rollouts, his latest album runs have just been, yo, I got a song with Drake, and there's no song with Drake, and then it's just really just the most pop hip-hop mainstream songs you could possibly think of. Like all the most pop mainstream acts you could probably think of are thrown on one song, and it's clear that all these are just doing this for a check, and they're mailing in their verses. They don't really care about what he's about to do, you know what I'm saying? But look, I think Khaled in 2025, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of over, right? It's not to say that he's not gonna give us a hit every now and again, but I think it's over, big dog. I think you need to go ahead and pack it up. But other than that, I'm not gonna say let's unrelease this entire catalog. I get that it's easy to hate on a nigga when, you know what I'm saying, it's easy to hate on him, but bro, you're not gonna deny the classics that the brother has. I'm sorry, that's not what we're gonna do. I gotta respect that man's game, at least somewhat. That man was like that for a while. Next take comes from Wesley Had a Theory. Tupac, Kanye, Michael Jackson are objectively top 3 most influential musical artists of all time. Yeah, we're just talking about, I guess, black people. Yeah, or specifically hip hop, you know, R&B, you know, early 2000s pop, you know what I'm saying, when NSYNC, Justin Timberlake obviously was heavily Michael Jackson inspired. I think Michael Jackson deserves his spot on there. Kanye West is a little bit more arguable because you're talking about really Kid Cudi, you know what I'm saying, Chance, Logic, Don Toliver, Travis Scott, you know what I'm saying? Or there's a lot of rappers that, you know what I'm saying, they're inspired by Kanye West, but like, I don't know if I can put him on that most influential of all time in terms of all of music, because at the end of the day, we also forget that white people make music too. So a lot of people were, you know, inspired by the Beatles. A lot of people were inspired by Freddie Mercury. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that it's easy for me to just say, I mean, yeah, this list is probably accurate. You know what I'm saying? Especially with Pac, Michael, you say those 3 names, generally there's not gonna be a whole lot of debate, but because you're so kind of definitive, I don't know if I can say that. Michael Jackson is 1000%. We can go ahead and guarantee as a lock. Tupac and Kanye is where it kind of gets iffy. I can see it, but if somebody were to, you know, say like I said before, a Elvis or a Beatles, even though you really shouldn't be saying Elvis, but or a Beatles or a Freddie Mercury, or, you know, whatever you want to say, you know what I'm saying? Like, you start getting into that bag, is like, all right, you might have a point, because then it can list off 400 artists that have been openly said I'm inspired by this person, especially Freddie Mercury, you know what I mean? But that 3 is a very good 3. I don't know if it's the definitive 3, but that 3 is a very good 3. And the final take we have today comes from XVYK. All of Drake's albums that came out after 2016 are mid/garbage, excluding Her Loss. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of Drake revisionist history happening now. So how do I tackle this? I guess we could go album by album since 2016, obviously excluding Her Loss, like he said. And I'll give you my personal opinion on them. And I will say, just for preference, it is going to sound like I'm going to say all of them are mid to trash. And there's one in particular that right now, just off the top of my head, I'm not going to openly say that. So from 2016, we can start with Views, I guess. Views isn't mid. Views isn't garbage. Views has actually aged pretty well. Views is actually pretty good. It's a pretty good album. I wouldn't say great. I'm not going to go as far as say great, but it's a pretty good album. More Life, if you look at More Life like an album, then I guess, but I look at More Life like a compilation, and that was really my first indication of, oh, Drake albums are just compilations at this point. They're not really albums, they're playlists. And More Life to me is one of his more slept on projects. I actually really like More Life a lot. I know it's kind of like him really stepping into his culture vulture bag. I get it, but we're not going to deny the slaps that are on there. Free Smoke, Passion Fruit, Georgia's Interlude, come on, man. Blem, Galchester, Portland, Sacrifices. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's a lot on here, man. Ice Melts, Teenage P. It's a lot on here. It's a lot on there. I'm not gonna say it's mid to garbage. It's some stuff on there. Now, this is where you kind of start to win the argument a little bit, because Scorpion is trash. Scorpion is really terrible. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there isn't really like 8 songs that I could just outright say are great songs. Like, obviously, I love Jaded, even though I know what Jaded is about, and I'm not gonna lie, at this point, I've kind of just made peace with it. Is what it is, but the song is fire. A Nice For What, In My Feelings, you know, the super poppy pop songs that are just gonna go off in the club. It's songs at this point are just like, they're cool, but I don't hate them either now. Sandra's Rose was on there, After Dark, 2 fire tracks. March 14th is actually a song that I quite enjoy, even though it's him basically just being mad that he got outed as a father, which is on one hand kind of understandable, but on the other hand, it kind of just makes him escape all accountability at the same time, because it's like, well, maybe you should have just been a father to begin with. But I get the reasoning. You're Drake, you know. It's I understand a little bit, but nah. But other than that, Blue Tint, Mob Ties, I'm Upset, you know what I'm saying, and God's Plan, but nonstop. But that's really about it. But for the most part, the highs, you know what I'm saying, were high-ish, but the lows were in hell. they were terrible. And so if you want to count the Scary Hours EPs, those were all really, really good for the most part, especially Scary Hours 2. I'm pretty sure we got like 3 straight, like, Wants and Needs on Scary Hours 2. Look, the Scary Hours was where it's at for a little while. I ain't gonna lie. Dark Lane Demos came out around that time, you know what I'm saying? That was a pretty good mixtape as well. But going back to albums, obviously Certified Lover Boy is where my point of contention really comes in, because Certified Lover Boy is fantastic. I'm gonna stand on that standpoint. I'm gonna die on that hill. I don't care what none of y'all say. Certified Lover Boy, I liked when it came out, and I've grown to love. Y'all are never gonna make me change my mind on Certified Lover Boy. I don't care. In my opinion, Certified Lover Boy is his last great project. It's his last great one. Her Loss, at some point in time, that project soured on me, just because, again, it was the Drake show featuring 21 Savage. I really didn't like that. But it's not to say that there aren't good songs on there. I just think that we kind of overrated that project when it first dropped. And since then, I've gone back to about a couple tracks, but overall, I think we gassed that project a little too much. But Certified Lover Boy, come on, man. Y'all not gonna make me hate that. Champagne Poetry, Poppy's Home, Girls Want Girls, In the Bible, Love All, Fair Trade, Way Too Sexy. I know. I get it. TSU, In Too Deep, Pipe Down, Yeba's Heartbreak, No Friends in the Industry, Knife Talk, 7 a.m. on Bridal Path, Race My Mind, Fountains, Get Along Better, You Only Live Twice, I Miss You Too. Man, the only 2 bad songs on there are the last 2 songs. Like, no, y'all are not gonna make me sit up here and say Certified Lover Boy was a bad project. And y'all know where I stand on Drake. Y'all know where I stand on Drake as a man, as a person, and as a artist. But y'all are not gonna sit up here and just tell me Certified Lover Boy was a bad project all because y'all didn't like the album cover. Hell no. Hell no.
You again. Did you eat a tree for right? Hell no.
For All the Dogs is, it's just at this point. And then obviously some Sexy Songs for You. Y'all know where I stand on that if you're familiar with my channel. Joe Budden this in 2025 is still crazy, but whatever. But overall though, look, I'm not gonna sit up here and say that Drake has just given us mid to garbage. You know what I'm saying? I think he's given us mid to good with 1 great, and then there's trash in some of that as well. But overall, obviously he's not shooting at the clip that he once was, but I think we do overrate, you know, the Drake hate just a little bit. And it's mainly because people are just tired of him as a person, his subject matter, what he raps about, and how he's just too old to be rapping about it. And it's not like I don't get all arguments from it. I'm just not gonna sit up here and say that he's given us trash like for the past 11 years. That's not what I'm gonna do, because I'd be lying to you. But you guys let me know what your thoughts are. Again, let me know what your takes are, you know what I'm saying, in the comment section below. Make sure, again, y'all like, comment, and subscribe. It's been your boy Josh Shiro. More takes next week. We out.